The people of Ashraf are women and men who have dedicated their lives to the prosperity of the Iranian people. Indeed, as Masoud Rajavi, the leader of the Iranian resistance, has said, the attack on Ashraf at the behest of the Mullah's regime during the Iranian people's nationwide uprising clearly showed that Ashraf is the source of hope and inspiration for the Iranian people. Many of them were imprisoned and tortured by the Mullah's regime. Khamenei hoped to destroy Ashraf and spread despair among Iranian people. But the perseverance of Ashraf's residents and the extensive international solidarity with them defeated the regime's plots. The UN Secretary General, Mr. Ban Ki-moon, formally declared in his report to the Security Council last month that UNAMI, with support from the United Nations High Commissioner on Human Rights, has undertaken the monitoring responsibility in Ashraf. This is an important step forward, but the battle continues. The Mullah's regime tries to pressure the Iraqi government to destroy Camp Ashraf before the upcoming Iraqi elections in January. Ali Larijani, the Speaker of the regime's parliament, repeated demands in a recent official trip to Iraq for the extradition and deportation of Ashraf residents. Camp Ashraf is currently under siege. On 25 November, residents of Ashraf were informed that the entry of medicine and doctors to the camp are banned. It is more than 1 month that no fuel has been allowed into the camp. And severe restrictions have been imposed for the entry of food. At the same time, the Iraqi government has given the residents of Ashraf a deadline of 15th of December to leave Ashraf. The forcible displacement of Ashraf residents is a gross violation of international humanitarian law and international human rights law. The displacement of Ashraf residents to an isolated region or one that is under the influence of the Mullah's regime is a prelude to their massacre. I call on you, the distinguished members of parliament, to raise your voices against any forcible displacement of Ashraf residents that has their massacre as its goal. Last week, a Spanish court declared its jurisdiction to investigate the crimes committed against Camp Ashraf. The investigation will be on violation of Geneva Conventions. This is a major development and recognition of the status of Ashraf residents by an independent judicial system. Dr. Garces, the leader lawyer in this case, who present here, will certainly explain more, but I think this decision is a formidable backing for effective international measures to protect the rights of Ashraf residents. Norway can play a historical role in this issue due to its international credibility. I appeal to you to request the Norwegian government to initiate a firm position by the United Nations against any forcible displacement or use of violence against the residents of Camp Ashraf. UN should oblige the Iraqi government to respect their recognized rights of Ashraf residents under international humanitarian law and international human rights law. This would be the necessary step for Iraq to join the community of democratic countries. Distinguished members of parliament, Khamenei has not been able to contain the uprising and regain his lost balance through domestic suppression and an attack on Ashraf. Therefore, he tries to accelerate his efforts to obtain nuclear weapons and to cover up his domestic weakness and instability. Negotiations and appeasement of the mullahs is a dangerous policy that shall result in a fundamentalist regime becoming armed with nuclear weapons. In response to IAEA demand to close down the Qom facility, the Iranian regime said that it intends to build 10 new nuclear sites and more centrifuges. In the last anti-government demonstration, on the 4th of November, the Iranian people declared their disapproval of this policy and called on President Obama to make clear whether he stands with the Iranian people and their aspirations or with the mullahs regime. Indeed, the message of the Iranian nation to President Obama and Western governments is simple and clear. You have to make a choice. Choose between the Iranian people and the Khamenei and Ahmadinejad regime. Choose between human rights or commercial interests. Choose between defense of liberty and siding with the people, or closing your eyes to the regime's crimes and pursuing a policy of appeasement. The Iranian people's message to Western governments is you cannot have it both ways. The time has come to choose. The time has come to listen to the voice of the Iranian people for change. A democratic change by the Iranian people and their resistance. Please allow me to once again call upon you, my distinguished friends and members of parliament, to actively support Ashraf. The Iranian people look to Norway and your support. There are many barriers, but I have no doubt that with your help, we will overcome them. We shall overcome and freedom will echo in Iran. I thank you all.
Thank you so much. I would now like to ask a few of our international friends who are here to just make some short comments. Lord Dulakia from the UK House of Lords. He is the Deputy Leader of the Liberal Party and he's speaking on behalf of the British Parliamentary Committee for Iran. You have the floor, sir.
Distinguished Chairman, parliamentarians, members of the trade unions, international friends, and my dear friend, Madame Rajavi, can I first of all thank you for giving me this opportunity to address you. I come here as a British parliamentarian, a member of the House of Lords, and I come here also to demonstrate that my parliament, within which over 300 members in the House of Commons have given support to the cause of Iranian movement, and in the House of Lords equally the same number of people who have been part of support for the cause of the freedom of Iran as advocated by Mrs. Rajavi. It hasn't been an easy exercise, but let me say why I'm here. You know, everywhere in the world that I travel, Norway and the Scandinavian country stand as a beacon of democracy and rights and liberties of people throughout the world. Some of us can't claim the same thing because we were part of an imperial heritage. But you can, because you have that respect throughout the world. And I'm here again to support you. And I'm delighted that 91 or more than 90 people have signed that particular resolution that shows your determination in terms of tackling the injustice that exists in Iran today. But there is another reason.